Well, it's Mr. Todd in the flesh, as it were, because I have some important things to tell you and show you that for months and months and months I've been asking for some help getting through, getting over a hurdle to make um, a MIDI controller talk to Ableton, and then in that interface have Ableton talk to PatchWorld. And I've, with the help of many others, uh, Frank and Eli and a bunch of other friends that have walked me through the process. Victor helped out today. Um, I've come up with the solution that actually worked in my office, in my music room, and I'm excited to show it to you. So let's get started. First, I'm I have a whole lot of windows open on purpose, but I hope it's not too distracting for you. But I'm going to show you that you have to download a few things before you even get started. First, you need to have, if you didn't kind of already get it by now, you got to have a version of Ableton. I can afford Ableton or justify the purchase. But you can get a trial for 30 days. And guess what? My trial's over, and yet it still works. So that's important to know. Also, a helpful little tool that was mentioned in the Discord is the Reactor 6 player. Now, the Reactor 6 player is a very similar thing. It has a demo version, but it takes you through, Native Instruments takes you through a step where you have to download Native Access, which then from Native Access you have to open it, and it's not as clear as you would think it was. Like, I'll show you a little bit of what I mean. So when I downloaded Native Access, this is what it looked like. You had this this screen come up, and after I downloaded it, yeah. Okay, yeah, you're gonna tell me all that stuff. Great, cool. Decide later. Yeah. So when you download Native Access, you think, oh, this is what I need. No. You have to download this that gives you kind of the choices of the things that you need. And you're like, well, which one do I need? You need the Reactor 6 player. And then when you install that, the Reactor 6 player is pretty much, and this is what my friend DJ Magnet said, pretty much you don't need Reactor after this, but it tells you your actual local IP address. And that's, and if you want to, spam me or do whatever, you go right ahead. I don't care. But that's my local IP address. In like other videos, people would be like, don't show that. They're going to hack you. Okay. Take all you want. I don't care. But that's my local IP address. Now, you're like, what does that even matter? Exactly. I didn't know either. But when I downloaded Ableton Live, this is Ableton Live, one of the things you see down here where it says Live IP, I was so confused on what to put in that IP, in that place. I had no idea what I was supposed to do. So it says Live IP. You put in the thing that Reactor player gave you, which in my case was this number. And so, yeah, Mr. Todd's cacophony. It's so cacophonous. So once you get into all that business, you download a Reactor, you download the trial of Ableton, or maybe you have Ableton, lucky person. You want to go up into Live and make sure that in your preferences of Live, in settings, you've got show link toggle, because what that does is that shows your link toggle up on the left-hand side here. Otherwise, it's not there. You'll see. It's not there anymore, but now I want it back. Yeah. There it is. Now, this is so gosh darn important, this piece right here. And this was kind of the thing that I was completely missing. So that's about all you need to do, except for one thing. I didn't show you how to find your Max for Live instrument, which gives you this little PatchWorld OSC bridge. And I'll get around that. All right. Yes, I know. Yes, stop. Yes, yes. No, that's not the only one. This is one too. All right. So you want to look for PatchWorld Max for Live. Yeah, mine came up right away because I've been looking for it. So in the Max for Live forum, it comes right up, download device. And I even, when it's downloaded, I opened it and, well, actually, I even dragged it into this little instrument timeline thing. Again, I don't have any idea how Ableton works, but this is what I know. So you drag it into here, right? You put your live IP down here, like I already showed you. Then that's everything you need to know from the computer side. You put the right IP in there, you turned your link on, and then you brought in your PatchWorld OSC bridge. Now, what's next is the patch side. In Patch, I'm going to show you how you can set up a working MIDI interface. I know. Don't I look amazing with this on? Nice and red. So the first thing I do is I look in my utility stuff because that's where a lot of this stuff is. I drag in my OSC bridge. Yes. And very, very important, I drag in my Ableton link. Those two things are super important. Now, right, maybe I should just start by showing you something it does. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in a. Oh no, I'm just going to head right into it. Why the heck not? I'm going to get a keyboard. Now, keyboard is not going to be all that great on its own, so I need to have a eVibes, or QBs would work too, but I'm going to do eVibes for now. All right. You might be thinking, Mr. Todd, this is stupid. And believe me, you don't know how stupid it was before I'm showing you all this. Okay. So this output goes into there. Boink. This keyboard goes into here. Pitch. Boink. Whoop. Boink. Come on. There you go. And now I can play. Should be able to play just right away. Did I do something wrong? Maybe not. Plug in. Oh, I know why. Oh, maybe I don't know why. Do this. Toot. All these instruments, and then turn that off. Now you should be playing. You should be hearing. Yeah, you should be hearing a little bit of this. So maybe I'm just going to turn my headset up so you can hear it. Right? Perfect. Pretty easy. Now I'm going to show you how Victor and everybody helped me do this. Oh, forgot one thing. You also need, very, very important. Jeez, why did you even, I couldn't even believe I didn't remember this. So you need a MIDI to frequency jolt. And just for good measure, I usually get a multiply jolt. Sometimes you need that. Okay. So from here, you're going to do this and go to there. And maybe you end up using that. Who knows? But from here, you're going to start bringing some of these guys out. We're going to go A, B, C, and D. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in some buttons. You'll see in a minute why this is important. When I click a button, then I'm going to duplicate it. 2, 3, 4. And then this thing's going to go in the side. And it should do that automatically. And then you take every one of these little tips in order. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you put them into the keyboard. Now this particular one is going to be 0. This is going to be 1. This is going to be 2. This is going to be 3. So after looking at a couple of different ways to show you this, I found the easiest way. And the easiest way is just to take the keyboard, plug it into a MIDI to frequency block, and then right into an oscillator. Problem is, I don't know enough about how all that stuff works. You just get this sound. So I don't like that for right now. But these buttons hit all the notes in order, as you can see. So now I just need to figure out how to get the computer and PatchWorld talking to each other. So now I have both my headset and my laptop and my desktop at school is set up so that they're on the same my hotspot. So I press enable Ableton link, and then I go back to live and I click link. Now, for some of you, your first patch IP information is not going to show up. It's going to say scan device or start scan. So you're going to start that scan, boop, and then it's going to pick up automatically the patch address, IP address, because you hit your link and you pushed your the link on Ableton and the link in Patch. So the other thing that is very, very important when you're setting this up is to edit the MIDI map on the PatchWorld plugin, on the Max for Live plugin. So the way you do that is you right-click where it says Edit MIDI Map. And then up on top, you already see that I've already mapped the MIDI map there. But you do that by going down to the send controls, and you click one of the knobs, and that's where you play your key. On mine, you see it says C. Ooh, something got messed up. There's F. There you go. So you change the send controls so they all correspond with the notes that you want to play in Patch. That's how you do it. And then if you want to turn it off, you go back, you right click it again and press edit MIDI map again, and then it takes you off that. But yeah, so now every time I play those 4 notes, because those are the only ones I've got set up in Patch right now, they'll turn on. So if that's the case, that I should see that also happening in Patch. Let's take a look. Are we seeing it happening in Patch? Why, yes, we are. Now all we have to do is just plug in the oscillator. That's where it gets tricky. I'm like, wait a minute, I just grabbed my mouse and now I'm plugging this in. Now, so you hear that. Can you believe it? Those are just the 4 notes. So one of the things I'm thinking about is like, how can you expand it? Obviously, you want to expand it to like full keyboard range. How do you affect the sound once you're done, getting it all plugged in right? But man, oh man, how happy am I? So now I can do a bunch of weird, crazy things in my classroom where kids can be playing not only can they be playing the MIDI controllers, I've got other things that interface with Ableton via Bluetooth. Like we could do Bluetooth instruments, and they all affect Patch. So the people on the headset will see it, or I could just have it going in my classroom. I can have the kids turn a knob on, if they're not even on a headset, turn a knob on something, and that MIDI information is sent straight to VR. That's pretty spectacular. So I thought you'd like to see that. So thanks for, thanks for following me on my little journey. See you next time.